Hello, my name is Kiwi. I've been procrastinating recording for a while now, so I decided to finally make another video. I'm gonna talk about my OCs. I've had quite a few OCs over the years, but I forgot about them over time, or just never really built up their story. But now I have two, and another one I'm working on, that I'm actually dedicated to, and I'm dedicated to their story, which is really exciting for me. I have the two ones I have like a solid thing for. Their names are Apelli and Perry. And I realized, once I chose the name for Perry, I'm like, that sounds awfully familiar. It's spelled differently, maybe I can be quirky and spell it differently. Apelli, actually, no. The whole world is like, there was a giant world war, like a third one, and basically it's kind of apocalyptic. It's kind of apocalyptic now. Also mixed with like paranormal stuff, like ghosts, aliens, freaky stuff. Yeah. So, Apelli is like dead, but also not dead, and I will explain that. So Apelli, like, she died in like the 80s because her dad was sick, and then she went into like drug dealing when she was trying to get money for her dad to like for medical bills. I know, absolutely amazing choice, but she ended up pocketing some of the money she got from it, which she wasn't supposed to, and trigger warning, she got beat up and died. But that's besides the point. She wasn't alive during this world war. So, in the World War, the World War started because paranormal activity is like more active in this world. So, what they did, like every like nations and stuff, they like put together institution kind of thing, and they had like multiple research facilities. It's called SCAP. That's it's short for Strange Creatures and Phenomena. That's the name I came up with. And one of these research facilities, like one of the biggest ones, blew up, and different nations were blaming each other, and people were dumb. So that started a war. And the stuff in the facility was like super toxic or paranormal-esque, I don't know. I will explain that later once I come up with a reason. And like spores and, not spores, like fumes spread around the world, like very, very slowly, by the way. Like it took a little bit of time. But the fumes spread around the world. I know that isn't realistic, but it's my world. And because of like the weird stuff in it, Apelli's body was like still where she died, and it was like kind of rotting, but because of the weird stuff in the fumes, it kind of like regenerated her and made her come to life again. But what she doesn't know is none of her organs were regenerated except for like her brain and stuff, but she doesn't know that. And then Perry. So Perry was like, she was born in technically 2019, but I have this weird year system. If you want me to explain that, I can explain that, but I don't feel like explaining it. So she was technically born in like 2019. And the war started when she was 5. And that went on for like a good 3 years until she was 8. And it was like no rules that you're supposed to follow when having a war like applied at all. So yeah, she went out to like get water when she was 8. Like she wasn't supposed to do that, but she was like, hey, we're running low on supplies, so maybe I can get water for my family. She came back, boom, house gone. Give me 5 big booms. Sorry. Yeah, so all her family was dead. Trigger warning. Again, I said that too late. It's fine. And then her neighbor saw that, and then she was like, I'm gonna take you in. And then she grew up with the neighbor until she was like 19-ish, I think, yeah, 19. And then she always felt like a burden to this neighbor because, hey, we're in a freaking like apocalyptic time and you took me in, like I am like a burden to you, like that's what she thought. So she left to go on a little adventure and take photos and film stuff. So she's like a vlogger, I guess. And the internet does exist. It's just like coming back to life in like it hasn't improved, let's say. It's just like it's still there. Not as many people are on it. Like dumb stuff isn't on it really. It's more serious stuff like safety tips and stuff like that, but people still post on there. It's just like less of a thing now. And now to the good part. So Apelli was very confused because she was basically in a coma, or she thinks she was in a coma for like a few years because she's like, whoa, everything's so different. Why the frick is everything exploded? Not exploded, but you know, ruined. And then she kind of starts trying to find clues for herself, and Perry kind of doing her own thing and trying to like look at supernatural stuff. She is looking around and vlogging, and along the way they meet in like a little abandoned town, and they both get really scared by each other when they see each other because like people are less common, so to say. I keep saying I'm not a very confident speaker. And then they met, and then they realized, hey, maybe our goals align, maybe we can hang out, and they hung out, and that's where we are right now. So, I really hope you enjoyed me ranting about my OCs. I absolutely love them. I have, like, I think 2 or 3 little videos on them. 2 of them might be shorts, but I hope you like them. I like them. Thank you.